Good morning, everyone. I'm Bill Thornton, and wanted to bring you this second video called about SoCalSabre Talks. I'm going to be talking about my life and my life only during this COVID stuff that we got going on today. And by no means do I uh, want to indicate that anything I say is what you should do or what you shouldn't do. This is just how it's affected me and what I think about life nowadays. And if I say something that you like, great. If I say something you don't like, great. If you can put some comments down on the link, I will try to answer them later on. But first of all, I'm an old guy, as you can see, 73 years old, and I have to wear a medical alert bracelet because I have some conditions that put my immune system at real big risk. So just prior to the state of California shutting us down in, I don't know, the 13th or 14th of March, whenever it was, I saw things were getting rough. So I personally talked with my kids, and I decided that I was going to cut back on my community activities, cut back on things that I like to do with others coming over to the house, and pretty much put myself in isolation. And I was okay with that, and I'm still okay with that because I had my mother and my stepdad living with me until they both passed away. But my mom's been gone for quite a while now, so I've been living by myself for a while. So being in the house by myself has been no big issue for me. What has been the issue is not being able to have people over, not being able to run down to the local game store and chat with the guys and make purchases, not going to a store or small things like that. But I've come over that, and my acceptance is pretty high. I have some spiritual background, and so that my beliefs believe that I don't have any control over people, places, and things, and so my acceptance is higher than ever right now. Yeah, I don't like being stuck in the house all the time, but I make the best of it. Now, how do I do that? I have a lot of different hobbies and things that I like to do. I love music. That's first of all, and I decided that I was going to go back and do a play each one of my record albums that I have. I don't know how many I got, hundreds of them that I haven't listened to in probably 15 or 20 years. So I started a review, and I still going on with that review. I think I've listened to about 90 something of them now. So that's one of the things I do. And then I think back of when I bought that, and it brings back those memories of what was going on in my life then. And so that's pretty cool. I like to read, and I read a lot of different books. And right now I'm reading a book called Under Fire. It's a Tom Clancy book. I forget which one of the guys who wrote it after Tom passed away, but it's a part of the Jack Ryan Jr. series, and it's pretty interesting. I've always liked the Tom Clancy type novels, and then Webb Griffin and people like that. What else do I do? Okay, about 5 or 6 years ago, I decided that I was going to become a board game collector, and I started doing some. So, and with my compulsive attitude and addictive attitudes, I've got a couple hundred games now. I particularly like the uh, war board games. It's so great now compared to what it used to be with just a basic little Risk or Monopoly or Yahtzee and that. The game designers are putting so much time and effort into the graphics and putting the history into the game. So how I further advanced when I help my liking of the game, I could say, for lack of better words, is when I doing a particular game. Like for example, I just did Conflict of Heroes Guadalcanal. So what I did is I read a book about Guadalcanal while I was learning and playing that game. It brought a lot of the history to me, a lot more than I ever knew. And I do that with a lot of different games now when it comes to the war series. I, of course, have a lot of other games that my family members like, that we used to have a reoccurring game sessions. And there were, I miss having them coming over to do that. My 15-year-old grandson used to come over and play board games with me once or twice a week, or once or twice a month. And we'd go out and have lunch and play board games or video games. And he's always been really good at video games. And my family's always played video games, and I've played them ever since the early '80s when they first started making an appearance in the world. So what happens is when I get stuck playing the video game because I'm not real good at it, I just put it on hold until my grandson comes over. He gets me unstuck and the life goes on and presses on. And I have what else do I have hobbies? I love watching movies now. I haven't I probably watched 20 times more movies since I've been on lockdown since than I have in the last 10 years. And that's okay. I normally, if I'm working on a project or one of my gaming in the living room, I'll have the movie on at the same time. So I'm doing some simultaneously. Then, of course, there's always the stuff that probably none of us like, and that's the housework, the dusting, the doing the laundry, the taking out the trash, and all the da da da. And I do those two to keep it going. So my days pretty much are, you know, busy, and they go by real quick. And I'm really thankful that that happens. I really look forward to, like, later on today, my daughter, grandson, and granddaughter are coming over for a visit. And we sit out on the porch with masks and keep our social distancing. And that's pretty special. They've been doing this once a week since March when we went into lockdown. And it's really special to me because I talk to my daughter on the phone just about every day. But having a personal connection like that is really special. And I very appreciative. And it's kind of like the highlight of my week waiting for them to come over for the visit. Other than that, that about covers all of it. As far as my life goes, my groceries, Instacart. I don't go to the grocery stores. Instacart brings me the stuff in. I need something else, I order it on Amazon. I found that there probably isn't anything that I can't order and have it delivered to my house. And so that's the process I'm going. If I want to stay in and keep my minimize my or keep me away from other people, those are the things that I need to do, and that's okay with me. Things will get better someday, and if they don't, we'll just keep on. I look to eventually open up a little bit to some of my real closest friends that I trust, and the trust is the big thing, And I've already talked to them, and I says when I open up, if I ask you to come over, there's one thing I'm going to ask you to do. Please be honest with me. If you are not feeling well, don't come over. If somebody in your household is not feeling well, even if it's the common cold, don't come over because my immune system is that sensitive. Uh, for an example, in January 2018, I thought I was coming down with a cold. And so I went to bed that night, with just a little cough. And I thought, well, if it's a cold in the morning, I'll do what they taught me to do. It's triple dose my steroids and things like that. Well, about 4 hours later, I woke up to go to the bathroom. When I stood, I had no more strength in my legs or anything. I had the flu, and it had taken me that fast and was taking me down. My son-in-law eventually I got a hold of him, and he came over and took me to the ER. They admitted me, immediately tested me. I did have the flu, and then they immediately with high dosage of steroids to get my recovery. So that wasn't a pleasant thing. I don't want to have to go through it again. So anyway, you know, just keep yourself busy. Be thankful for what you do have. This is just my advice to you, and my advice only. Take it or throw it in the trash. Be thankful, stay busy, and most of all, stay safe. Protect yourself because there's a lot of people that won't think about you as an older person, especially if you're elderly, won't think about you. And sometimes it's just by accident that they don't think about you. So, everybody, have a good day. Stay safe. Next week, I'll have a so-called Sabre Talks, and it'll be on another subject. I'm not sure yet, but that's the way it's probably going to go for a couple of weeks now. So, thank you for watching. And if you like the channel, subscribe and leave me some comments of what you think or what I can do to better my life. Thank you.